Hi, I'm Greg with Fizzics, here with Gretchen, the owner and brewmaster of Little Dog Brewing Company in Neptune City, New Jersey. Gretchen, thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you, Greg.
Cheers. What are we drinking here today?
Well, this is my Seafarer Stout. It's a classic dry Irish stout. About 5%. I think it's a really nice beer. It's one of my biggest sellers. And it's tasting pretty good right now.
Yeah, I can see why. This is a very easy drinking, nice and smooth, quaffable beer.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about how you got into brewing.
Well, I always liked good beer. And back in the day, there really weren't a lot of options for us here. You know, there was certainly no craft beer. There were some imports, but really the easiest way to get good beer was to make it yourself. So I started as a home brewer, like a lot of professional brewers did, and I brewed for a few years. I never really, was very advanced, and I ended up getting a job at a homebrew shop, which morphed into one of the first microbreweries in New Jersey. And that was pretty much it. That was 20 years ago, and I'm obviously still brewing 20 years later.
So cool, that's awesome. Tell us how then you transferred into owning your own brewery, and how did Little Dog Brewing Company get started?
You know, people think that this was a lifelong dream to have my own brewery, and it certainly never was. I got into brewing, as I said, working for Red Bank Brewing Company, but I really did fall in love with it, and unfortunately Red Bank was short-lived. The time just wasn't right. That was in '96. Long story short, I got laid off. They went out of business. I thought about it, and I really enjoyed what I was doing. So I went out to brewing school in California. I came back, and I was really lucky. My last job was at Basil Teas in Red Bank. I was the brewer there for 12 years. And I guess after about 12 years, I got thinking, geez, I think I would like to have my own place. And I did quit about 5 years ago, and it took me a couple of years of thinking about it. And then the reality, I made it happen in about a year and a half, I think.
So what would you say is Little Dog's approach to craft beer?
I would say Little Dog's approach to craft beer is obviously Gretchen's approach
right.
to craft beer. I wanted to create beer that was very drinkable and very tasty and very approachable for people. But I really want people to enjoy them and be able to have one or two of them.
Right. Can you tell us about any upcoming projects you're working on here?
Yeah, well, actually, beer-wise, we're going to be kind of moving into our winter beers. We have some really nice fall beers on right now, but the winter is going to bring a nice porter. We're going to do that, a couple of variations with that. We're going to do it with coconut and chocolate. We're going to do it with a variety of chili peppers. And I'd like to do something with honey also, maybe a nice rich brown ale with honey. We'll do that over the winter. That's on the beer side of it. Project-wise, now that we're moving into our third year, it's time to make some changes in the brewery, to upgrade some of the equipment, to expand the taps a little bit so we can give people more variety in the tasting room.
Have you noticed any difference with the microfoam as opposed to from a hand pour from a can or bottle?
Well, obviously the appearance, it looks beautiful. You get the nice lacing. It's still got this head that has gone down a little bit, but really hasn't faded very much. So appearance-wise, it's just fabulous. I get a lot more aroma, I think, out of it, and taste-wise, I think it tastes more true to the style.
It's
I would
creamy,
say
smooth.
Definitely creamy. Especially, it looks beautiful in a stout too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
One last question for you. If you could have a beer with anyone living or dead, who would it be?
Stephen King.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think that would be really interesting. He's someone, I've followed his career. I think I read, a lot of his early works. And I love the way he's kind of grown and evolved. And I don't know this for a fact, but I have to imagine he's a craft beer lover.
I could see that, yeah.
Plus it's up in Maine, right? So.
Well, thank you so much again for being such a gracious host and showing us around and letting us come today for a beer. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you
Cheers
so
and
much.
welcome to Little Dog.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.